It's a new day. Got Michael, L, Creed, L. Now, time for the last two verses. Then later today will be a video on hopefully all of Galatians 1. So starting back from yesterday, then I went into the regions of Syria and Cilicia, and I was still unknown in person to the churches of Judea that are in Christ. All right. They only were hearing it said, they only were hearing it said, he who used to persecute us is now preaching the faith he once tried to destroy. And they glorified God because of me. That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
It's reasonable.
That's reasonable.
It can be done.
Yeah.
They only were hearing it said. So, and I was still unknown in person to the churches of Judea that are in Christ. They only were hearing it said, he who used to persecute us is now preaching the faith he once tried to destroy. And they glorified God because of me. The second verse is easier than the first verse. And they glorified God because of me. And it's easy.
Yeah.
But this first one. I was still unknown in person to the churches of Judea that are in Christ. They only were hearing it said. So their only source of information, the only thing, what they were hearing about Paul was just only that. So they only were hearing it said, he who used to persecute us. Okay. They only were hearing it said.
They only were hearing it
They
said.
only were hearing it said.
That's the way I hear it.
Yeah. How do you hear it?
They only. And I was still unknown in person to the churches of Judea that are in Christ. They only were hearing it said.
Only. They only were hearing it said. They only were hearing it said. They only were hearing it said. He who used to persecute us. So they only were hearing it said, and then the next word is he, because it's talking about Paul, right? And so they're just like, he who used to persecute us. We got a little phrase describing he, right? He who used to persecute us is now preaching the faith he once tried to destroy.
It's true.
It's true. They only hearing it said. They only were hearing it said. That's really unnatural phrasing. That's really unnatural phrasing for us. So, to make sure that it stays locked in, that's 6 words. They only were hearing it said. So when I get to that spot, if I say that phrase and the phrase is 5 words, I aim the same phrase.
That's true. Yeah.
They only were hearing it said, he who once tried to persecute, who used to persecute us is now preaching. One thing I find really helpful is you got those phrases, right? Like ing verbs, is figuring out where they are. And so there is one, but it's only in the second part, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well there's that as well, yeah. They only were hearing it said, he who used to persecute us is now preaching the faith he once tried to destroy. Yeah.
But I was thinking too, the used to.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that seems like Southern slang. Like I used to.
Yeah.
And it's more proper to say I was doing, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But so the first time he says he who used to persecute us, and then the faith he once tried to destroy. So you have like the informal and formal. I know that's probably not his point, but
no, but it helps us remember it, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is all about locking it in the memory.
Lock it in, baby.
Lock it in.
Woo!
So. They only were hearing it said. They only were hearing it said. He who used to persecute us is now preaching the faith.
He once tried to destroy.
That's what I said. He who used to persecute us is now preaching the faith he once tried to destroy. Once. One time. He once tried to destroy. They only were hearing it said. They only were hearing it said. Such a weird order of words. They only were hearing it said. He who used to persecute us is now preaching the faith he once tried to destroy.
Yep, that's exactly right.
He once tried to destroy.
Yep.
And they were praising God because of me? No, glorifying. And they glorified. Past tense. Past tense.
And they glorified.
No ing verb there.
Mm-hmm.
And they glorified God because of me. That's
true.
7 words. All right. And they glorified God because of me.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Stick the numbers on any number of words in these verses, and each one's distinct. They don't overlap. It's good.
That is good.
So I'm trying to think of. I was still unknown in person to the churches of Judea that are in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
What's that first word? I didn't look at the first word.
Uh-huh.
They. For 23, or for the next part. They, and then and. Okay. So, and I was still unknown to the. I was still unknown to the. Oh, it's okay. Ain't no one seeing these videos. We can have some dialogue time. It's all right. That is definitely a charger. I don't know if it's the right charger for your phone.
I'm just curious. No, it's not.
But you know, it might be.
Don't be distracting me.
What about this?
そうかな。いや、よし、やったー。
Sweet.
Okay.
They only were hearing it said. Man, that does not want to sit in the brain.
They only were hearing it said.
They only were
It
hearing
was
it
just
said.
that they kept hearing it said. They only were hearing it said. They only were hearing it said. They only were hearing it said.
Oh, they only were hearing it said. Oh.
They only were hearing it said. They only were hearing it said.
Well, see, and I was still unknown in person to the churches of Judea that are in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They only were hearing it said.
They only were hearing it said, he who used to persecute us. He who used to persecute us. I know the next part. I just wanted to make sure I had that part right before I went on. You know.
Yeah.
He who used to persecute us is now preaching the faith he once tried to destroy.
That's true.
And they glorified God because of it.
Yep. That's true. You did. They did.
They once were hearing it said, he who used to persecute us, yes, us, is now preaching the faith he once tried to destroy. And they glorified God because of it.
Yep.
Good.
That is good.
Like that.
It's real good.
Once more, go to Cheesecake Factory. Let's see.
Get it.
And I was still unknown in person to the churches of Judea that are in Christ. They only were hearing it said. They only were hearing it said? Okay. Such a weird phrase. That's such a weird phrase. They only were hearing it said, he who used to persecute us is now preaching the faith he once tried to destroy. And they glorified God because of me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's easy.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Later today, going to be all of chapter 1. I say later today. It might be tomorrow morning, right before I do the first 2 verses of chapter 2. Depends how long it takes to get all of chapter 1, like, solid and blowing.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Aye.